Greetings YouTube and welcome to my latest project, which isn't a weapons build. This is more shop infrastructure. I have this cart here, which has got 2 levels, got no borders on it, so I may have to put some edging on it at some point, particularly the bottom shelf, because I want to keep things on there and not have to worry about them sliding off. And I have this stainless steel container, which is very well made. It was also salvage, so both of these things cost me $0. These are both from my company that people were getting rid of equipment, and I'm like, I'll take that. So I just wheeled it out the door and put it in my car. What I want to do with this container here is I want to mount that container right there, like that. So I'm going to need to drill a series of holes, probably 3 here and 2 here. And that'll give me 5 mounting points, and that's just fine, because I want to use this for holding a number of liquid containers I keep in my shop that I use on a regular basis, and this will keep them contained in one spot so I know where everything is, and it's leak proof, so if anything does spout a leak, it's not going anywhere. But one of the things I don't need are these, so I'm gonna have to cut these off, which is a pity because the weld's pretty nice. Whoever did this did a pretty decent job, and I'll keep these because it is nice quality stainless steel material. And then I'll have to grind this off so that, there's no burrs on it. And this is going to become the outside edge, like that. And I'm going to drill 5 holes in this, all 1/4-inch holes, because I want to use 1/4-20 bolts to hold this thing all together. And I need to make sure I put the holes far enough in that I'm not interfering with the infrastructure here, which is there's all 1-inch tubing, a square stack tubing, so I have to make sure I'm not interfering with each other. So I'll put the hole in like here and then here. That way I'm not interfering. And then I'll put just for aesthetics, I'll probably put this hole in the same distance and then this thick one in the middle. I have to take some measurements. I actually don't know what the dimensions on this thing are at the moment. It doesn't really matter, but I will try to get something in the middle. And then I'm going to have to use this, clamp it in place so that I can then mark everything that I want to drill in this, then have to mark each location and then drill through these legs with, again, 1/4-inch holes. Now, one of the things we're going to be using today is this. This is my brand new Works 20-volt 1/2-inch brushless drill. I picked this up quite recently, and so far I have been very happy with it. This is metal, which I happen to appreciate because my Ryobi, which I love a lot, has got a plastic collar, which I don't like as much. This light here is much more useful. I have a Makita upstairs. I really like my Makita. It's an 18-volt, but it's only got a 3/8-inch drive, and my Ryobi corded drill, which I use down here a lot, is also only 3/8-inch drive. This is a 1/2-inch drive. And the Ryobi, the Makita upstairs, the cordless I've got, has the light here. And that goes great, but it actually doesn't go where your drill bit is, because the light's here, whereas this, pointing upward, like this, actually goes where the drill bit is. So you're angling it to the point where I can actually see the object that I am drilling, which is, kind of a nice thing. High speed, low speed. Came with 2 batteries and a charger. I got this entire thing for 120 bucks. This is the Works Nitro. And I am probably also going to pick up a cordless angle grinder, because there are times when having a cordless angle grinder would be good, and now I have the 2 batteries. So I don't have to worry about buying batteries and a charger for it. I can just buy the tool itself. Excuse me. So first thing I got to do is get this stuff out of my way and cut these off and get this thing set up. Once I get that set up, then I have to mark it and drill and mark this from the outside so that I can then drill from the outside in my drill press, because that'll make my life easier. And then it's next to be marking here, and then putting a mark on there with a punch, put the punch, and then drilling all the way through. That's going to be the least fun part, is drilling this, because even if I put this up against something, and the only thing I really have to put it up against is going to be that right there, which is the step out of my shop. I'll probably put this against that so I can push against it while I'm drilling. It still isn't going to be particularly fun because I'll be doing this by hand, but I want to give this thing a bit of a test. I haven't really put it to its paces yet. So we're going to do that today with this, see how well it does. This is the initial charge. I have charged it when I purchased it. I purchased it a week ago. I've done a couple of things with it, but nothing major. So we're going to see how well the battery handles it, how well the motor handles it. So that will be fun. Just got to remember to put that in the drill mode because I was using this earlier for the other day, using this for putting the screws in. Alrighty, so let's get this thing set up so I can whack off those wings. Alrighty, so now we're gonna. I'm actually not putting on my apron because I'm only gonna make 2 quick cuts, so this shouldn't be too bad. But I'm gonna put on gloves. I've got eye protection and hearing protection because I'm not dumb. We're too close on that. That'd be better on the second one. Alrighty, so one off. This one off. I'll move this up here so I get a better grip. Stable. Let's see if I can do better. Yeah, maybe better. Well, live and let live, right? Sometimes the only way you can learn a lesson is do something wrong. Yeah, so now I'm going to take these, grind these off, polish it up, and then get to the next stage, which will be marking for drilling holes. Alright, so I just wanted to show you how I'm going to clamp this thing. I already have lubricant on the drill, on the workpiece, and currently on the drill bit. So we're just going to drill a hole. Okay, this does not want to drill, which means I'm going to need to break out my hardened drill bit. So that's going to be a thing. Let's see if I can get the hardened drill bit to do the job, because this one is just literally not cutting it. Take that one out. Fortunately, I know exactly where the hardened one is, because it's the only drill bit I've got. It's in its own little cardboard tube. Actually, let me try something here. I think I can get away with that. So if I can get away with bottoming it out, that'll give me the best chance of drilling the hole correctly. I may have to give some support in here, and that's going to be a pain in the butt if I find something the right size. Well, let me check and see if I've actually got anywhere. I made a very tiny dent. So I'm going to have to get some support under this. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. So I'll be back and try that again. Then I have some support so I can actually have something to drill against. The joys of doing this kind of thing. You just don't have to understand what hurdles you're going to have to go over until you get there. Alright, so here you see what I had to do. I've got this wooden block, and then this hunk of scrap steel, all in there to give me the support I need so I'd have something to push against, and still, that was a bear of a drill. So I'm going to have to do that 4 more times. I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be so much fun. These should be easier, I think, because they're going to be closer to this corner, so that means that there'll be less flex, so I think that it'll have an easier time of drilling those, but I'm not going to find out until I do it. But yeah, this is hard stuff. It's good quality steel. I'm glad I've got it in my shop. It's going to make a great container, but it's not a whole lot of fun to drill. Alright, so we have all 5 holes done. I deburred these 3 holes fairly easily with the combination of this and then touched them up with my power file. This one I was kind of able to do half of a deburring and then did the rest with the power file, and that one I had to do exclusively with the power file. And I'm very glad I had the power file, because getting in there with an angle grinder to get that cleaned up would have been a bear. So they're all now cleaned up, so now I need to clamp this to my table, and I need to then mark where the holes are going to be in the supports. That's the next step. So here I have all the 5 holes highlighted. I clamped the box in place, used a silver marker to highlight them, and then I put a punch in the center of each. And now I've got my drill and a 1/4 inch drill bit. So now I'm going to try to drill right on through this. We're going to see how that goes, because in this position it's really hard to use any kind of lubricant. So I just going to have to do this as best I can. But this stuff doesn't tend to be super hard. I've worked with a lot of this type of tubing it was in the past for projects. In fact, I've got a piece right there waiting for a project. So we're going to see how this goes, and hopefully it won't be too difficult. All 5 holes are now done and deburred. And you'll notice the orientation this table's at. It's lying on the floor, because I came to realize there was no way I was going to be able to drill that way, the way I had it pushed up against that stop. So I put it on the floor. This way I could use lube, as well as bring the full weight of my body on top of the drill bit. And the drill worked beautifully, just like a charm. So now I'm going to pick it up, and we're going to try bolting this thing together. I did open up the holes slightly, give myself a little wiggle room, so I'm hoping that everything comes out okay. So now it's going to be assembly time. And here we have the unit installed, and it's already got stuff in it. I did have to open up the holes to a next size up, which is a 5/16, just to give myself a little more wiggle room to get everything to line up, because a couple of holes were not perfectly true as far as being perpendicular to the square stock tubing. As again, I'm doing by hand. It's never going to be perfect. But we got things I can hear. What do I got in here? I got some 3-in-1 oil, got some WD-40, wipe on poly, some spray on urethane, wood glue, and some rubbing alcohol, which I use a lot of time for cleaning. This is not all the chemicals that I use in my shop, but these are the ones that I use on a regular basis. I also have a container of tung oil, which I believe is still upstairs, because I had been using it on a wooden sheath. So that needs to come back downstairs too, because I use that quite frequently as well. So that'll fill this up quite nicely, but this is all the daily go-to kind of thing I use in my shop. So this is going to be awesome, because it's going to keep it all together. I'm not going to have to worry about it not being able to find it. And if anything leaks, like for example, occasionally you'll get a WD-40 giving you a leak after you spray, or once you open this. I haven't opened this one. Sometimes your oil can dribble a little. It's going to go into the bottom of there, and it's not going to go anyplace else, which is awesome. And I got to tell you, I am very happy with this Work Nitro drill. This thing is just working like a charm. It's going to take long term to figure out what I'm going to how it's going to run over the course of a year or so. But right now, I got to tell you, This is great. The balance is awesome. It's got a smaller size grip, which is good for me because I don't have particularly large hands. I don't like big chunky things, and this has got a nice narrow build to it. Brushless motor. It's just overall a great little tool. One person, I read the reviews on this before I bought it. One person was complaining about the fact that this is red and the overall colors on a Work Pro tools, like I guess it's the entire line, is orange, or this kind of, burnt orange and black. So they were upset that this was red. I'm like, if that guy had not mentioned this, I probably would have never noticed this was red, because I don't care. Why do I care if that piece of plastic is red? That was a silly thing to complain about in my book. I'm not buying my tools purely for, my power tools, purely for aesthetics. I do have tools that I have purchased for aesthetics. This is not one of them. So, all in all, I am thrilled with this thing. 2 thumbs up. 1 thumb up. You can't see the other one. But yeah, this is great. This is awesome. I'm very happy with this situation. So now I'm going to go put it back where it was and put the things that were sitting on it back where they were. And at some point, I'm going to want to put a rim on the bottom of this, and I will probably use bed frame for that, because I have a lot of bed frame. Use the bed frame for that to give myself a lip on the bottom so I can store things, and when I move it around, not have to worry about them falling off. And whether I do that on the top here is open to debate at the minute, but I know I'm going to want to do it on the bottom. Okay, so hope you've enjoyed this project. I know I thoroughly did. It was a nice little build. Didn't take too long. I've been like 2 hours, I think, something like that. And that's with filming, so that always makes it longer. But a great little project. I'm very happy with the results. Was surprised how hard this stuff is. I will tell you that. But I'm not worried about it breaking anytime soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you come back for the next one.